You can still take ownership of things, even if the initial reaction is like, oh, well, you can't control that.
You have to be proud of your effort every single day.
I tell women that anybody can accomplish anything, and I really believe that to the marrow of my bones.
Rise and shine!
It's Entspresso time.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I am not a morning person, but if you start your day with a morning routine that inspires you, it will change your life. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee, know that I believe in you, and get ready for a shot of Entspresso from Jocko Willink.
I wake up every morning. Espresso keep me going. I wake up every morning.
What is the difference between an excuse and a reason?
Kind of a good question, right?
Sure.
Okay. And the reason it's a good question because there can be legitimate reasons why things happen.
Yeah.
Right? And so, for instance, you're in a sailing race, right? In a sailboat.
Sure.
And the mast snaps in half. Now you don't win the race.
Yeah.
But I mean, you didn't, the mast snapped.
Yeah.
What can you do about that? Or the horrible weather rolls in and you can't launch your aircraft, so you can't go on your mission.
Right.
Well, you can't control the weather, so like, what's up? How can that's a reason. Or you get really sick, so you can't compete in a competition. That's a reason. You were sick. Oh, you do bad because you were sick, and it's a reason, could be called. Now you could look at the situation and say, okay, if I'm going to take ownership of this, did I properly test the mast?
Sure.
Did I?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Did we have a ground-based plan for the operation in case the weather came in, we were going to take vehicles instead? Right?
Yeah.
That would work. If you get sick before the competition, maybe you ask yourself, were you resting properly? Were you eating properly going into the competition so you wouldn't get sick? You could address that, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you can still take ownership of things even if the initial reaction is like, oh, well, you can't control that. Well, you can influence it. You could mitigate it, right? Now, can there still be legitimate reasons? Yes, there can. And for me, the difference, the line between an excuse and a reason is a reason you have zero control over. Right? You just have zero control over something happening. Well, that's a reason. Did I tell you I was almost late the other day for something?
No.
Because this is borderline.
Uh-huh.
I had an appointment at 10 o'clock. I left. It was a 20-minute drive.
Mm-hmm.
I left an hour. I left about 9:10. I left 50 minutes to drive 20 minutes.
Right.
Just so going to make it on time.
Yeah.
I get on the road, basically a couple roads out of my house, and the one entry way to get on the freeway is locked down.
Like incident, like isolate some incident went on.
A guy trying to kill himself on a bridge.
Yeah.
Shut the road down.
Incident, yeah.
So no one's going on the highway. So what is it? Everyone's being channelized into marginal, what are they called? Back side streets.
Yeah.
Detours, rerouted.
Yeah.
The clock is ticking. And I made it, right? I was 4 minutes. I had 4 minutes to spare. So instead of it taking 20 minutes, it took 46 minutes. It took more than twice as long. That could be, a fairly legitimate reason. Mm-hmm. Now, luckily, I always, I had planned that there could be something out of my control and it might take even longer. And that's why I leave early to go to an appointment or a situation like that. So I could have also checked the traffic prior to leaving and taken a completely different route. That would have been, I blame myself. Yeah. So even in that situation, I was thinking the whole time, why didn't I check the traffic before I left? I knew this could have happened.
The only thing that matters is how do you feel about yourself? Are you proud of yourself? This is an inside game. If you want to have more self-confidence, more self-love, more self-belief, it's about how do you feel about yourself? Not what other people tell you, not what looks good on Instagram or YouTube. How do you feel about yourself? People, I think, fall into two buckets. One, you'll have people who set really small goals and then achieve them, and then they get celebrated. And you might feel good because you posted that win on Instagram, you made a YouTube video, and you can show off about how great you are, but really, you know that you could have done more. You just set your sights way too low, right? I use the example of running a race against 3-year-olds. Great, you could win that race against 3-year-olds. You can do it. You can do it blindfolded, you could do it maybe even crawling, maybe. You can win that race pretty easily though. And winning that race might get you a little medal, and you can post about it on Instagram, and show off how you won, and you can get all these accolades and people cheering you on, but you know you're capable of more. You know that that was a cheap win. You're setting your sights way too low. And then you got other people who set giant goals, but then never hit them, and then they beat themselves up about it. Yeah, oh, I said I was gonna do this, and I didn't follow through, I couldn't make it. It was too big, it was beyond me. All that matters in both cases is how do you feel about yourself? Are you proud of your effort? Did you give your max effort? And if it's a yes, that's what actually matters. Not even following through on the goal. If you've got a goal for yourself, if I set a goal for myself and I'm almost always going to hit it, and usually the goal is not the result, the goal is the effort, right? Like, am I gonna make, today I'm making videos, am I gonna make enough videos, right? I said I'm gonna make this number of videos, I'm gonna make that number of videos. Maybe they do well, maybe they get lots of views, maybe they tank and you guys hate them. You don't know, right? I can't control the result, but I can always control my effort. Are you proud of the effort that you're putting in every single day? And if you end up hitting the objective, awesome. And if you don't, maybe awesome if you're proud of the effort. So let me give you an example. I've started streaming on YouTube on a new channel, my gaming channel, where I go live right now 4 times a week. In the evenings, I play League of Legends and I take business questions from you guys. So hey, if you haven't signed up, go join me there. I might even be streaming tonight, depending on when this video comes up. And I came up with the idea of I want to have a co-host. So I want to have somebody who's helping me look at the comments, respond to the questions, so that I can not have to keep looking over at the other screen and I'm missing questions. Sometimes they come in too quickly. So I want to have somebody help me give a good experience. I didn't know how to bring somebody in on my stream. I didn't know the technology, how to make it work. So in my head, I give myself a timeline. You know what? By the end of next week, I'm gonna have this figured out. I looked at my schedule, I looked at how many streams I had, and I was only doing one more. You know, I had one that night, last night. I had one in 2 days, and then nothing until the next week because I'm doing an event with Tony Robbins. And so I said, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna give me this day, tonight, and the next 2 days to figure it out. And then when I launch the stream back again next week, we're gonna get ready to go. That was my plan. So that was what I started setting into motion. And then as I started figuring it out, I realized, I might be able to do it tonight. Idea to action, right? I might be able to do it tonight. And I was streaming live at 6 o'clock, and I'm testing things out, and it's 5:45, and I'm playing around with the settings, and it's not working. You know, I'm trying to bring somebody in, my co-host, and it's just a big white screen. It's like, oh, it's not working. It's 5:50, still not working. 5:55, still not working. Like 5:57, we finally figured it out. It's working. We go live at 6, and we had a great show. It wasn't perfect, the size of the camera, whatever. We had to fix some minor things for the next one, but we got it going. Even if it didn't work, right? That was a good story. It worked, right? We had an amazing first session together. I'm pumped about myself and my effort, because in my head, I gave myself until the end of next week to do it, and I did it tonight, right? This is how you start building self-belief, self-confidence, self-love, is teaching yourself that you do it, that you have momentum, that you get an idea, that your ideas are amazing. As soon as you get an idea, trust that it came to you for a reason, and then go do something about it. It's the single biggest thing I think that holds a lot of entrepreneurs back is you're pumped in the evening about an idea, and then you wake up the next day and you've lost your courage and confidence and you don't go off and make the thing, right? Idea to action, right away, get going. So I'm pumped that I tried. But even if it didn't work out, right? If it didn't work out, if it gets to 6 o'clock and the technology is not working and it just didn't happen, and we go back to my original timeline for the next week, I'm still super pumped for myself. On the surface, it looks like a failure, right? It didn't work. I go live, it's black and white, it didn't work. My co-host didn't join, it didn't happen, right? If we go to the worst case, I'm still pumped because I tried. I'm still pumped because I tried to get ahead of schedule, because I was trying to figure it out, even though I didn't really know what I was doing. All that matters is if you're proud of your effort. So look at the goals that you've set for yourself. Look at whether it's a diet goal, a business goal, whatever your goal is, a health goal, relationship goal. What are your goals? What are your goals? If your goal is to do 100 push-ups a day, and one day you wake up and you're just super sick, and you're thinking there's no way I can do 100 push-ups. You're super sick. How sick are you? This is what happens to me. This is legit what's going through my head. If I had a goal that I want to do 100 push-ups a day, and I wake up one day and I'm super sick, I'm asking myself, how sick am I? Because if I can't do 100, the next question becomes, how can I be proud of my effort? And maybe it's nothing. Like maybe there's no way. Maybe I'm just so sick that I'm lying in bed and I'm vomiting or whatever, and I can't even get out of bed. So there's no way that I can do a single push-up. But can I do 10 push-ups? You know, otherwise, if I'm not dying in bed, can I do 10 push-ups? Can I do 25 modified push-ups? Like, can I do 100 push-ups for my knees? Can I do it? Even though my black and white goal is I didn't hit it. Instead of just making it all or nothing, saying, well, I guess I can't do the push-ups, and feeling bad about myself and judging myself, say, how can I make myself proud? What's a version of it that I can be proud of myself for? And again, maybe that's push-ups on my knees, maybe that's 10 push-ups instead of 100, or 2 push-ups instead of 100. Some days you can give a lot more energy than others. Some days you can show up because you've got more courage and you've got more effort and you've got more energy and you've just got more. And some days, just getting out of bed is a win. But are you proud of your effort? It's the number one thing. So this is an inside game. Nina's joining in. What do you think, Nina? Yeah. Are you proud of your effort?
Yes.
That's all that matters. If you want to build your self-belief, your self-confidence, your self-respect, your self-love, what matters is you look at your day today. You look at what's ahead of you. You look at the challenges, you look at the obstacles, you look at the wins, and we don't just celebrate our cheap wins that you know you could have done more on. You ask yourself, are you proud of your effort? I want to give you one exercise called the pillow test. The pillow test is, at the end of the night, you're about to hit your head on the pillow, about to go to sleep, the pillow test. You ask yourself, am I proud of what I did today? Am I proud of how I showed up today? Even if you didn't get results, right? Maybe you tried recording some videos and you put them up and nobody watched them. Or somebody did watch them and all you got was negative comments, right? Like worst case scenario. Are you proud of how you showed up today? Because if every day you woke up and more days than not, you are proud of the effort that you put in, you will get the results you're after. We quit on things too soon. We quit because we don't have the momentum. We quit because you don't get the immediate results. You have to be proud of your effort every single day. And when you can flip from, excuse land and move what I call the break line to where you would give yourself a break, move it forward a little bit and say, no, this is my chance to show myself in the world what I'm made of. I want to pass the pillow test tonight and be proud of my effort, even if I didn't hit my black and white goal. That's the inside game you need to play. If you make that shift, it'll change your life. Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, it's time for the question of the day. I wanna know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video, and what is your specific plan of action for the next week? When you just watch a video and get motivated by it, you have a 35% chance of following through. But when you get motivated and then create a specific plan of action, you have a 91% chance of following through. That's what we do here, Believe Nation. We get motivated, but then we do something about it. And when you commit to other people, you increase your chances even further of following through. So, what was your biggest takeaway from this video? And then what is your plan of action around it for this week? Put it down in the comments below because I want to celebrate you. Also, if you want to have more self-belief and more self-confidence, self-confidence, I've created a special free program where every day for the next 254 days, I will send you an unlisted video to help you boost your self-belief and self-confidence. The link to join for free is in the description below.
People want to know how to stop the laziness, and they want to know how to stop the procrastination. And I looked at him and I said, I'm not a brand. I'm a person. Self-discipline comes from the self. It comes from you.
Going back to your book, I think that one thing that's really, really interesting about it is the way that you structure it around, like 80% of the book is the excuses that you literally tackle them one by one, which I thought was really smart, and then skill acquisition.
Yeah.
So why that structure? Why excuses and skills?
Because the excuses are just what I hear all day from women in DMs and emails, standing in line at a book signing. It's all the reasons why they can't do what they want to do. And it makes my head explode because it's like, what? Like, you're not, it drives me crazy. So I thought it's well and good for us to talk about the things that you need to do to achieve this stuff. But none of this matters if you don't have this foundational presence of mind to get out of your own way and to stop using that as a crutch for why you can't do what you want to do. If I get flack for anything in this space, it's the idea that I tell women that anybody can accomplish anything. And I really believe that to the marrow of my bones, because there is no reason that I should have the life that I have, the business I've built, the being on stage. I shouldn't have any of this. This is working every single day for the last 15 years to achieve the thing that I want to achieve. You had said something recently, or maybe it was on your Instagram, where someone said, how do I become a speaker? And you were like, speak everywhere. Everyone that go everywhere. People are like, oh, I would love to be a speaker, but I can never talk like you. And I'm like, I spoke at old folks' homes. I spoke, because they can't run away, by the way, if anyone needs this tip. The people laugh, I'm like, no, it was for real. MOPS groups, which is mothers of preschoolers, they exist all over the country. I'd speak at the opening of an envelope, and I was horrible. My first speeches, it was this. Maybe somebody, it was like, and it's so embarrassing, and your hands are shaking, and I had note cards, and I keep the videos on YouTube because I want people to see the progression of what a decade looks like. I've done it so much. You need me to do a keynote right now, I got you, I can make it up. But it didn't start that way. It was so many years and so much effort, and the problem is, they're like, well, I can't because, or here's the reason why. And I'm like, yeah, me too. I had all those excuses. And it didn't mean that making the decision to move forward, suddenly it got easier. If anything, making the decision to move forward is harder. Because now, John Maxwell said this to me the other day. He's like, which is the most name-droppy thing, but I was interviewing him on the podcast. We're not having a slumber party. But he said, movement causes friction, always. And so just because you make the decision to move forward doesn't mean it, now we're doing it. No, now you've got all kinds of other problems. So excuses were really important for me to tackle, just because I think, love my girls, but women especially, we need to call BS. And you need to have someone get in your face and say, with all the love in my heart, this is not real. This is something that you've decided to cling to because it justifies why you're still in the same place.
If you want another awesome video from Jocko Willink, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
You're going to make your luck happen.
People who don't win, people who don't succeed, put too much of an emphasis on luck.